No, it meant Charlotte.
Oh.
And my mother didn't know.
Oh, you
it.
told us that last time.
Yeah, when Baba and my mother came over here, of course, my grandmother, all she could speak was Serbian, and she was illiterate, and so they asked what the child's name was. Dragica. They put Dora, and that's all her life she went by Dora. Mm-hmm. And then after she was married, we kids were almost grown. The Archbishop of the church was coming to Chisholm because we had a Serbian church there, and they were going to eat at our house. And so the Archbishop said to my mother, what was your Dragica? Oh, Charlotte. And she said, what? Your Dragica is Charlotte. She said, I would have rather had Charlotte than Dora, but it was too late. She couldn't change it.
Don't know how you get Charlotte out of Dragica, but...
Yeah. But just so you know, the oldest son was Milos, and born and died in 1899, according to this.
Yeah.
And then our grandmother, and then Eli, 1905, born and died 1905.
Right. Now the story with Milos was that my grandfather, he was conscripted into the army. Well, at that time, the wife would stay with the husband's family. But evidently, my grandfather,
this is a good story.
My grandfather was of the first marriage of his father, and then when my grandfather's mother died, then his father married again, and what did I tell you? He married a snasha, which means witch. And evidently she was, because when the child was born, of course they lived out in the country, were farmers, they were peasants, and she wouldn't let my grandmother have any milk from the cows because she wanted the milk to go to the pigs. And my grandmother didn't have enough milk for the child, and so it starved. So when my mother was born, my grandmother decided, my grandfather was in the army. He had to come home, and then became pregnant with my mother. And when that child was born, my grandmother decided that was enough. She picked up her belongings and went back to Mama.
All right.
And said, I'm not letting another one die. But you didn't do that. But she was a rather independent woman.
Well, and she had 9 children, 5 of whom survived.
Wow.
It took a lot of courage for those people to come
to get up in the morning.
And then to come to this, they were illiterate peasants. Of course, they could speak Serbian and maybe some Italian and maybe some German. But they came to this country, and all they had was an address that somebody had given them. Find this person, they'll help you. They somehow managed to find their way to northern Minnesota. How, I don't know. I couldn't have done it. And I'm supposed to be an educated woman.
What?
Who's that?
This one on the left is my mother.
Because it says Dora.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one on the right, the picture on the right, could be Mitch and Nikki.
I bet it is.
Mitch and Nikki, yeah.
God, who knows?
Yeah, never
Now
mind.
the one on the left I don't know, but the other one's my mother. And the little girl, that might be Dessa.
Okay.
That actually looks like a little boy.
Now who is
Now
that?
that almost looks like
That looks
Teta.
like Teta.
Yeah.
And any idea who the woman would be?
Well, that's what I mean. The woman on the right, the little girl.
The little baby, I don't know who that is. It would be one of her grandchildren, and I didn't know them that well. But why would is this Michael's album? Whose album?
No, this is one of Gina's albums, I think.
Well, she would have pictures of Teta. Teta was my father's sister.
Oh, I thought you were saying Dessa. Oh,
No, Teta.
Teta, all right.
That's Teta Milosova, her name
The
was.
Sacramento great aunt.
This one is
Yes.
the Sacramento.
We think that's who she is.
It looks like her.
But she's a younger woman, and So that could possibly be Danica, but Danica was born in Yugoslavia.
Yes, she was 18 when she came to
Yeah.
this country. So that wouldn't, no, that would not, I don't know, unless it was, of course, it could be Vera,
It could be
because Vera was
born
born in
here
this,
in Tonopah.
my teta, her husband came to this country just before World War One. She did not go. They had one child. He was going to earn enough money to send her money to come to World War One. Intervened, and then the ability to get a visa, they closed off the Slavic countries,
Mhm.
because I found out not too long ago that they considered that the Slavs were not true whites. They were not white.
No.
So therefore they couldn't come into this country. Well,
Good thing we don't have that problem today.
What's that? Yeah.
Good.
So finally they did open up the immigration, and in 1929 she was able to come. Her first daughter, and see, the husband had only knew as a baby, and then she's 18 years old by now, and they come to this country, and then they have Vera.
There's 20 years difference. So Vera was born in Nevada, in Tonopah, because that's where they ended up. And that was a gold, like the tail
The
end of the
silver
gold
mines,
rush.
wasn't it?
Gold and silver. In Tonopah was gold.
Oh, was it?
And more, well, probably more silver, but wasn't it her husband that our grandfather connected with when he came over? It was
Yes.
his brother-in-law,
Yes.
her husband. So
And
that's
then
how he
got this miner's disease, a lung disease and Vera was only 5 years old when her father died.
and his name was Popovich, Louis Popovich.
No, Louis Popovich was
With
Diane's
Diane's, you're
husband.
right. Diane's son, never mind. He was Malkovich, her husband.
Yes.
So Malkovich is on both sides of the family, but unrelated to our grandmothers, your grandmothers.
Well, my mother's mother was a Malkovich, and
But these Malkoviches were unrelated to.
unrelated. It was
Just
a very
another
common
common name
name,
like
very
Smilinich.
common. Just like Smilinich was quite a common name.
Okay.
Orlich was not. Do you know what Orlich means?
Little
Legal.
eagle.
Eaglet.
Eaglet.
Everybody argues.
I don't.
And eagle means orao. I can't say it properly. Eagle is orao and eaglet is Orlich.
Orlich.
Who knew?
Go figure. I don't know who that is. It's a child with a wagon. Now this is Mealy and this is my grandmother and my grandfather, Jedo.
Papa and Jetto.
Shadow.
Mealy and probably Mar then?
No,
Oh.
no.
Dessa.
Probably Dessa.
Yeah.
So this is the famous Steve.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my! Now I'm beginning to see people I know. In the picture of the swimming, the lady on the right, holding the child, is Diane
Okay, Danica.
Dunison, and the one next to her is Mar, my Aunt Mar. Now, who are they children? Who are these children? I don't know. I don't
Well,
know. Dunisa might be holding her first child.
so that would be Mikey then.
Could be.
Does he look? So Mikey was born with cerebral palsy.
Yeah, he was.
So not severe. But then one of the littler ones would have been Mitzi then, because they were only about a year
Yeah.
apart.
Right.
And then would this be like possibly Vera or one of the other little ones?
Well, let's see. Could be. Maybe. I really don't know. I can't say for sure.
And who would you say is the young woman standing next to?
I told you, Aunt Mar.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
At least it looks like her. Mar was tall and thin.
I guess.
Hmm. Well, Danica wasn't real tall. Mar was about 5'6", 5'7".
Okay.
And that's my father with my brother Sam. Okay, I don't know. Just some of my mother's friends. Don't know.
Happy children playing in snow.
Yeah.
Name all these people.
Yeah.
You name them. You do as well as I.
Okay, next page.
The one on the left is my Uncle Mitch. And that is, oh dear, that is, I know, Vuicic. That's, you have no idea what I'm talking about. No, it's Milena Vuicic's mother and father.
Okay.
What was Mrs. Vuicic's name? Oh, gee, I knew it. It's been a long time.
Mrs. Voicich is okay.
Mrs. Vuicic. You know how to spell Vuicic?
I'm probably not going to write that down because we probably don't care.
Well, this is true. Okay.
Don't mean that in an unkind way, just
I don't
not
know.
family.
Well, why
Yeah.
would you want to know?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Those could have been some of the lodgers.
Looks like a bunch of Serbs to me.
Yeah.
Didn't your grandparents also take in lodgers?
Yes, they did. Now,
Oh,
the child looks like Mealy, but I
Yeah.
don't know who the.
well, that's your mother and
No.
grandfather.
No,
isn't
no,
it?
no, 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 no.
That's Dora on the left.
No,
No?
I don't think so.
I think that's Dora and your grandfather.
No, it's not my grandfather.
Okay.
And that's your mom.
Of course.
Jeez.
Even then.
Yeah.
And now that is, my grandmother is sitting down, and then my mother is standing, and the lady holding Gina is Mrs. Simmons. She was a friend of my mother's. I don't know who that is. I don't know.
Important men about
Oh
town.
my, looky there. Now that was the kindergarten band, and I think Uncle Sammy is in it.
Now,
Is
I
that
have
him
a
on the-
much better picture of this.
Is that him on
In
the
another
far right,
group.
maybe?
No, he's one of the ones with the paper hat. At least he was in. See, the kindergarten had a little band, and they played triangles and,
Oh, cute.
you know. Well, that looks like Mary and Mitchie, my
Oh.
cousin Mitchie and Mary Margaret. No, not Mary.
No,
Margaret,
Mary Elizabeth.
Mary Elizabeth.
Botnich,
Oh.
Well, no,
Smilovich.
it's Botnich now. It was Smilinich.
Right.
My Uncle Mitch's children, 2 of them.
So his son was also named Mitch.
Yeah. Okay,
Looky there.
that's my mother and father, and Gina, and Bud, and me.
Huh.
I don't know.
Now I got a better picture of that later too. So.
I hope so.
Oh my God! Yeah. All right.
Oh my! It's no,
That's
on
Uncle
the
Mitch on
right
the
is
right?
Uncle Mitch. Yes, and I know the
He
other
was
two, but
such a
they are not
handsome guy.
related.
Yeah.
Look at that. I think he was at least as good looking in his era as
Uncle
Uncle
Mitch?
Buddy. Yeah.
Uncle Mitch was.
Yeah.
He was.
And he's the one, Jeff, that you most resemble.
Okay.
I do not know those people. That's my
What?
mother,
Now,
and that's my
that kind of,
father, and my
so
that's my mother.
is that the backyard of your house?
Sure
Do
looks-
you recognize
yes,
it?
Yes.
Okay.
It was kind of a dumpy looking place until my grandfather took it. Okay, that is my father and my mother, and I think Uncle Mark. That was my grandmother's youngest brother, who was just, he was actually younger than my mother. but it was
Oh.
her uncle.
Yeah.
You know how
Seymour
Fem-
was on the left. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seymour's on the left.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Pass.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one, my mother is on the right, and then the rest of them are her friends. It's,
Like a picnic in the park or
yeah,
something.
and I mean, I know the women, but they would mean nothing
Yeah.
to you. There's my mother and Uncle Mark again.
Okay.
Uncle Mark.
Now, that Uncle Mark, would his son have been Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Mark Malkovich, the famous Newport Music Festival Mark Malkovich,
Okay.
came to our 76 reunion. There's photos of, I think, him at the piano. That would be his father.
Yeah.
Alright. Uncle Mark was a nice guy. He was a nice looking man.
Yeah.
He drove a bear truck. And he just, I mean, he was just a nice,
Yeah.
easygoing guy. You couldn't help but like him.
Well, and so cousin Debbie, who lives in Connecticut, was pretty close to Mark, who lived in Rhode Island.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So she probably had closer ties with him than most anybody in the family.
Okay. Okay, on the left is my grandfather, Jello. And then Mark, Uncle Mark. Now, I don't know who the other two men are. And then the women sitting down is my grandmother and Mrs. Simmons with Gina.
So maybe the top right guy who doesn't look Serbian is Mr. Simmons.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
have no way of knowing.
How can you tell in this picture that that's Gina and not you?
I just can.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's
I
just
mean-
like the picture that I have of Gina and me when we were babies. It was taken in a studio. And to me, it's very obvious to me which is which.
Okay.
And I've had more people look at it and look at Gina and say, "Oh, that's you." And I said, "No, I'm the other one."
Well, I've got twin girls, and I can pick them apart at any age from 0 on up in any picture. It's just,
Yeah,
It's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my mother on the left, and with her is Mary Vujicic,
Ah,
who's just
just a friend.
Related some way, but I really don't know for sure how. And that's my grandfather, Jello.
He was a handsome guy.
He was a nice-looking man. Okay, isn't that the picture we just saw a while back?
No, but it's the
Yes,
same kids. They're just a little younger.
Pretty close, yeah.
Okay, I have no idea, but they look like Serbs.
That looks like Mitch.
That looks like, yeah, it could be. Oh, goodness, I have no idea. It's two women, I do know this.
It's dramatic, so Gina's involved somehow.
Well, no, this is too old for her. That
You
looks
know,
like
our-
my mother.
I know, and I noticed she is smiling in a lot of these pictures as a young woman, which is kind of neat because Grandpa Simo just always looked so stoic. You never
He
saw him
really
smile.
wasn't, though.
No, but in the photos he
Yeah,
always is so
well, in
serious.
the old photos, I think they would sit still because sometimes it took a little. I mean,
Yeah.
some of them had to be time exposures.
Yep.
Who knows? Because I don't. Okay. Oh no. I don't know. That's a fancy car. That's my dad.
Oh, he's really young.
Boy, look at that convertible.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know who they are. I don't know either.
Do we know about the dates of any of these?
I don't know.
Yeah, May 22nd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 19 what?
Now that top picture,
So say
that's
Grandpa
my
Simo.
dad. And I don't know for sure who the other two men are.
Well, I guess to me, so far, that one in the middle looks like Mitch, but
Yeah.
It
maybe
might
I'm
be.
just thinking Mitch.
And that's my
all the
mother
time.
with somebody, but I don't know who.
What, do you know
No,
what
I
that
don't.
house is behind them?
What?
Do you know what this house is?
Yes, it's, let me see. Is it what I think? No,
It's
no,
big.
no, it's not.
Might not be a house. Might be a commercial building or something.
No, I don't. It's not what I, when I first looked at it was, but it's not what I thought was originally. I don't know. I don't know who that is either. Well, there's Teta,
Yeah.
and this, now, let me
Oops.
see all of this, yeah. That's Teta and her husband and Vera,
Yeah.
What's her husband's name?
Louis.
Okay. And who knows?
That looks like Uncle Mitch, and I don't know. That's the backyard. It improved after
Yeah.
my grandfather got them.
Well, we've seen that one.
So I know that Teta just, I mean, she totally adored your father.
Oh, yes.
She just,
Well, see, when she came to this country, actually, he was the only one she knew. And
other than her husband.
well, yeah, but I
But-
mean, and then for years she couldn't come up to. I mean, she went to California. My dad was up in northern
Yeah.
Minnesota when she was finally. But see, my dad was her older brother, and yeah, Teta, she really did. I mean, she. Oh my. Even in those days, look at that now. Just look at that.
Shocking behavior.
No idea.
No idea. I mean, they look familiar, but I can't remember their
Yeah.
names, and they're not relatives.
Well, that looks like Dora on the lower right.
No.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Uh-uh.
Mm-mm. I don't know. There's that little child again. I do think that has to be Dessa.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think so. There's some pictures in the photo album of Dad's that you just filmed where Dessa is identified.
Okay.
So I'm not going to worry about these maybe pictures.
don't
And
know.
these are just too blurry.
Well, that's in front of the high school.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel. Now that's Mealy as a high school, a senior in high school. Now that looks.
That's your mom
Is
and
that
somebody.
my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That looks like that woman you
Mary
identified
Vujicic.
earlier
Yeah.
as the with the Z.
yeah, Mary Vujicic.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Not Zorka.
No.
There's Auntie Millie.
again. Yeah. Now the.
Okay,
that
so that's
looks like-
Buddy and Dad.
Yeah.
And,
Buddy and Dad
you and
Gina and me, and then down below it's Mark Malkovich and his sister Carol, and then the one on the right is Sammy. in
It's
front of
Sammy.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, I see Sammy there.
So let me, that's 10:59. Let me write that one.
Yeah.
Is that Uncle Nick? Might be. It's so blurry. Now that I don't know.
That's,
Well,
that's
Mealy
Mealy and Mark.
Mealy and Mark.
Oh, and there's a hint down there.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. I didn't even see that.
Ah,
I don't know. And that is, yeah. Now that, I think that's Mr. and Mrs. Trebojevic. No, yeah. Now that's me, and that's Gina, and Bud, and me. Well, it says so on the
Yeah.
picture.